welcome back to my channel. So today I want to talk to you about IQ versus EQ and why a delicate balance between the two is so crucial for us to be at our optimal state, for us to really serve as leaders. So IQ, as we all know and are aware of, is a test or a measure of your intelligence. So we think of people like Albert Einstein, we think of testing and ACTs and scores and school and all of these things that are very much in the mental energy, because essentially it is a measure of the mental capacity, the mental intelligence. But what about the EQ? So the EQ is the emotional intelligence. It's the heart's intelligence. That's what's being measured with EQ. It's how much you understand people and dynamics and body language and things of that nature, relational dynamics, right? That's EQ, because the heart, the center, is the merging of the two energies. It's the center of the entire system of when we're thinking of the chakras, right? It's the very center. The heart is the home, it's the seat of the soul. We've heard all of these things before, and they're not for no reason. The heart is truly the center. So when you come back to center, you are really in your heart space and your EQ shoots up and is super high. So imagine somebody with really, really high IQ. Extremely intelligent, can solve any equation, any problem, any mathematical equation. I mean, that kind of person, right? Super brainy. But they have low EQ. So that person may be extremely smart and can do all kinds of things on computers and all of that. But it may be hard for them to connect with people. It may be really hard for them to understand people and for people to understand them, because they have such high IQ and low EQ. So they can't do heart-to-heart connecting in the way that they maybe even want to, because it's almost like a foreign language to someone like that. And connecting with people is difficult because they're so used to the mental space that the heart is kind of malnourished in a sense. Now think of someone that has high EQ. This could be someone that is super nurturing, super giving, super motherly, over nurturing even to a point, right? And they may really understand people, but they may not have a good understanding of solving problems and practicality and things of that nature. So the goal here is truly to have both the IQ and the EQ in balance, right? So having those two in balance is what we call mind-heart coherence in breath work. And this mind-heart coherence is so important for our nervous systems to be regulated and calm. And we know that with a calm and regulated nervous system, we can then be present and change our reality from a place of presence and not pain. As I always say, there are two ways that humans learn: through pain or through presence. It's actually a quote that I have in my book because it's something that came to me in a meditation and I've never forgotten it since. You get to choose if you learn something through pain or presence, whether it's a choice that you're conscious of or unconscious of. When you're conscious of the choosing, you are in presence. When you're unconscious of the choosing, you are in pain. And we are addicted to suffering and go through pain to learn. But once we break an addiction to suffering, we actually give ourselves the opportunity to learn through presence, and that is the goal. So in order to be present, you have to have a good balance of the masculine and the feminine, or of IQ and EQ, to understand people and still be able to hold boundaries with them, right? The balance, the beautiful dance between the two energies. And that is why it's so important to have both a developed IQ and EQ, or in spiritual terms, a developed or divine masculine and feminine energy within you, so that you are balanced as a person, as an individual, and you know when to utilize the heart space and you know when to utilize the mind, because that is what is called for in the situation, and you're present enough to see that. So truly, truly, to have a high IQ, I believe you must have a high EQ. There is no way around it, because we are here together as a human race, all of us here on this planet, to help make each other better and to raise the vibration of the collective. So I hope that this was helpful for you in understanding IQ versus EQ. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like it. Leave a comment on your thoughts on IQ versus EQ. I would also love if you purchase my book if you haven't already. It's amazing. It comes as a set with my shadow work journal. You use them together for potent transformations, and you can learn more about it on my website, as well as work with me or book me for a retreat or attend one of my retreats. All of that is available for you. Turn on the notifications, share it with a friend that may be wanting to increase their EQ or balance out the IQ and the EQ. And I will see you in the next video. I love you to life. Bye.